guys, I'm coming to you a little bit from the future based on the content of this video, just because I had to wait until after my first trimester really to start filming these videos because I have been so sick. But that being said, I'm pregnant. I'm gonna be doing pregnancy updates. I'm gonna backtrack to get those first trimester weeks covered. I'll be posting like current videos and stuff as we go along once we are all caught up. Today is just going to be the symptoms I had before my positive pregnancy test. I found out I was pregnant. That still feels like so surreal to say. I found out I was pregnant 11 DPO. We'll find out for sure soon because I have it all documented in this journal. I can't find, like, there's so many beautiful journals at like TJ Maxx and Marshalls and HomeGoods, but they all have like sayings on them or like quotes in them, and I wish they would just make some beautiful plain ones. But this one says, "So very busy," and I got it because George and I had to get busy to make this baby, so I thought that was entertaining. I have like some stuff like from when we were trying in here, and I'll probably do a video on that later, like what we did to get pregnant and all of that. But we're gonna start with symptoms I had before a positive test. So like early symptoms. A lot of these symptoms may have just been like my body's general symptoms, because like a lot of them I have on and off with my endometriosis or with my cycle or just whatever, because I have health issues. But I thought I would just like include all of them because I don't know which one of them I don't know which ones of them were based on pregnancy or not, and I know some of them were not like common symptoms I had, so I'll try to like make note of that as I go through just in case. We'll start with like 3 days past ovulation. I just noticed I was having like more heartburn than usual. I do struggle with heartburn in general and acid reflux, so I don't know if that was coincidence or not. And then like 5 DPO, I started noticing I was like a little more emotional than usual. Mostly like about happy things. Like I would get like happy tears, not like crying, but like, I don't know, just a little more sensitive than I normally am. It looks like my arms are not connected to my body and these are someone else's hands. I'm gonna adjust that a little bit because that still is gonna look like my hands. Whatever, these are my hands. I just noticed that like around 5 DPO as well, I just had been having like this general kind of like just euphoric feeling, like I was just generally happy. That was, I think, probably related. And then I noticed around like 6 DPO that my breasts were a bit tender, and I don't normally have that symptom with PMS. When I say mild at 6 DPO, I'm telling you it was like mild, and I only knew about it because I was like practically abusing my boobs to see if they were tender, and then I was like questioning it because I'm like, they feel like they're a little tender, but surely I'm not pregnant. Like surely I'm not pregnant the 2nd month trying, like, you know, because like that's so much faster than I thought we would get pregnant. I didn't even know if I would be able to, so I was just like, nah, you know. And I would like be pushing on my, okay, they're still sore, I'm not gonna demonstrate. I'd be like pushing on my breast in the car like before going into work to be like, are they tender, like are they hurting, or am I just hitting myself in the boob, which is not part of my normal daily conduct. So that was kind of funny, but looking back they definitely were a little bit tender, and that did increase consistently. And now that I'm in my 2nd trimester, it's starting to decrease again a little bit, which is nice because it was, ooh, it got rough. We'll talk about that in the weeks that pertain to it more. I'm gonna go ahead and warn you here. If you know me, if you're just not ready for the pregnancy talks, if you are weird about bodily functions and discussion, you want to go ahead and stop watching here. But if you're cool with it, I'm super open about that kind of stuff if it's on topic and pertinent to conversation. And the openness starts now, which I say after just talking about pushing on my boobs, but it's about to get real TMI. Anyway, so 7 DPO, like a sudden pain slash like fluttery feeling in my like ovarian uterine region. That was like the first time I really questioned this, like the start of me conceiving right now, like in my body. Like I just had like this weird feeling about it, but again, I was just like, no, like you're just looking for something, like you just want it too badly, you know. Also, I'm sorry if I sound congested. I am congested. Also, that day, this is where we get TMI, when I went to pee, I had like this like excess of vaginal discharge just flowing on out of me, which I had not had happen in that capacity before. I was just like, what is going on down here? It was gross, but I was like, that's new. Days 5 through 9, I had like some mild kind of crampy feelings on the right side, and just some general cramping. And I remember thinking like, this is either gonna be a really bad period or I'm pregnant. General cramping got more intense from 9 days DPO onward. On 9 days past ovulation, I took a pregnancy test and it came back negative. And on that one, I felt kind of surprised because, like I had said, like part of me actually thought I might be pregnant, even though I was scared to think it. I wasn't ready to give up, and I knew I wanted to take like more pregnancy tests later on. Day 6 through 9 DPO, I was having like constipation, and sometimes I have that before I start my period, but it was like a little early to be having it. It was like a little more extreme than usual, which is just not like me. I'm usually like super regular. More TMI. Then I also had like an abnormal loss of appetite, but I was still hungry. It's like I was hungry, but I didn't want any of the foods. I was just like not feeling eating until I would get so hungry that I felt sick, and then I would eat. I had headaches starting around 8 DPO. That's not common for me. I was having like a lot of indigestion and fatigue. In general, I was just like cold a lot more often, and this was August. It like was not cold at all outside yet, and I was just more cold, and I usually run hot, so that was weird. 9 DPO, I started having dizziness when I was standing up. So like if I went from sitting to standing, I would get really lightheaded and dizzy and have to sit back down sometimes. I was wanting to lie down a lot more, so I just felt better when I was horizontal. I just wanted to be laying down and resting as often as possible. I woke up the day of his birthday at like 7:30 in the morning or something, and I really had to pee, so I was like, I'll go ahead and get up and do like my first morning pee, 'cause that's the best one to test in. But I was able to wake him up on his birthday, his 26th birthday, with a positive pregnancy test, so that was like super sweet. So I start journaling like for the next video at like weeks 3 and 4, and I have a little note that like weeks 2 and 3, I had like really good sleep. Like I was able to fall asleep earlier. I was able to get better quality of sleep, but I was like waking up at like 5 or 6 in the morning thinking about being pregnant, because like I just found out, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like was that a dream or am I pregnant? And then my symptoms started to change weeks 3 and 4, which we will go over in next video. If you guys have any questions about what I was thinking during that time or feeling, or like more in depth about any of the symptoms I had, go ahead and ask in the comments below. Leave any symptoms that you had. Cool to see who had what going on, but that's what was going on with me, and it ended up proving to be pregnancy causing it. I cannot wait to keep you guys updated and do more videos on this little baby. We're so excited. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to follow along with my pregnancy updates and all that good stuff as I go through this major change in my life. I would love to have you guys involved and come along with me.